Okay, I'm going to be demonstrating the Tessellation project here and how to get started. So first off, here are the supplies you need. You need a pencil, you need a ruler, you need just a regular piece of printer paper that we're going to do the project on, and you need just a scrap of cardboard or cardstock, so any sort of stiffer paper that you can cut to create the stencil part of this. So on your scrap of cardboard, you need to create a square that is 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So for me, I'm just making sure this is all going to work. I'll use that side. I'm going to measure from the bottom 1 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 right here. And then going across the top as well, 1 inch, 2 inch, and a half. And then I'll connect those. And, oops, going again the other way. So from the bottom, I've got, let's see, 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5, and then connect those. So I guess another supply that I didn't mention at first was that you also do need scissors. So from here, go ahead and cut out your square, and then you could just throw the rest of the little cardboard scrap away. And it is important that this is a perfect square, because if it's not, your tessellation won't work super well. So from here, you got to draw your design. So you go kind of one side at a time. What I'm going to do is more of a simpler design. So you always want to make contact corner to corner or corner to corner. So I'll do a design that looks like this. From here to here. Now what I'm going to do is cut that out. And then you're going to want to tape it to another flat side. So once again, I'm taking it from down here, just bringing it up and around, and I'm going to attach it there with tape. So it doesn't really matter what tape you use. I'm just using regular old masking tape. And I want to make sure it is connected really neatly, so every edge is lined up really nicely there. And I don't want the tape to go too far over the edges. Now I need to do one more cut. I need to cut on these long flat sides. You never want to leave a side just totally undone there. So what I'm going to do is draw just a simple design. And then I can cut that and attach it to the other side. So basically what we're making here is kind of like a wacky puzzle piece that's going to fit within itself across our paper here. Now before we get started on the next step, I did want to show you another option for creating your tessellation. It creates more of a square-based design rather than a really long design. And that is by sticking to the short corners and corners rather than going across like I did at first, but short corner to short corner. So I could draw some sort of line like that and cut it out. Okay, so I've cut one side. Now I can make a decision on where I want to put this piece. I could put it up here. That would be rotation. I could put it across here. That's translation. I could put it across and flip it. That's called glide reflection. So you decide what you want to do. Do you want to do rotation, translation, or glide reflection as you saw in the video? So I am just going to keep this to rotation, so it's going the same way. And then I tape it up here. Again, make sure my edges look nice and neat. And then I need to do another cut on one of these other sides. So I'm just going to do, I could have drawn this first, but not a huge deal because really the improv sides are good. So I cut from there, and now I'm going to attach at the bottom here. Now here are the two possible pieces. I'm going to demonstrate with the rest of this with my original one, but you can see how many different combinations that can come from this. Now all you need is a pencil and your stencil that you made, as well as your paper. You're going to place that stencil anywhere on the paper to start out with, really does not matter, and go ahead and trace it. It does help if you have a sharp pencil to do this, that way it gets right up to the edge of the cardboard. Okay, and then reline it up. Okay, and then I reline it, and then I keep going. Okay, so I've finished tracing my stencil. You can see I filled the page with it, just like that. Now, it's important that your stencil always fits perfectly. If it does not, then that means your original square, before you even cut anything, might not have been perfect. So if you find that you're having a hard time fitting your stencil, I would go back and maybe try to make a new one. Now I did want to show you that this would be a little bit different if you did the rotation or glide reflection. So with the other stencil I made, I'm going to start tracing it, but this time not speed it up at first, just to show you how it needs to be traced. So if I trace it the first time, now unlike my other stencil, I can't just move it and have it line up. I have to twist it so I can see that those kind of mountain type shapes fit right there. And then I can trace that. And then I could also see this curve fits right here. Now, just to show you an example, I'm going to flip these and as if I had done glide reflection and show you what would have happened there. So with glide reflection, it's a little bit different. I'm just going to use another scrap of paper here. If you trace it first, going this way, and then you try to line it up, it's not going to line up. It's not going to fit. So what you have to do there is flip your stencil, line it up, trace it, and then you're going to just always be flipping your stencil back and forth, back and forth. So that is what's going to happen with glide reflection. So if you ever find that your stencil isn't fitting, try flipping it over to see if it fits that way. So once you've gotten your stencil all traced like this, the next task is to see what can it be turned into. So you just can kind of rotate your paper around until you see a picture. So for mine, I could kind of see candles here. So like if this was the flame and this part is the candle and they're just kind of overlapping each other. I could also see some sort of nose or beak of a creature going that way. This way I see maybe like a cat and then a tail coming off to the side. So just keep rotating yours around until you see something. If you can't come up with anything, ask the people around you, say, what do you see in this picture, to help give you an idea of what to do next. I will do like a bird idea going this way. So I could see this is the beak. So what I'm going to do is start adding lines so that other people can see my design. So there's the beak, there's an eye, and then here's the body. So I'm going to do specifically a duck. I think it'd be fun to do like a mallard duck there. So there's my design. Super simple. Now all I need to do is add that to the rest of my features. But you need one to be the emphasis. One is going to stand out. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to draw the emphasis somewhere. So maybe I'll make, instead of a duck, I'll make like an alligator. So if I convert it to be like teeth going across, kind of more of a mean looking eye. And then, let's see, something like that. And then I could also do some scales every once in a while to show that this is an alligator and not a bird. So there you go. So now I'm going to fill the rest as ducks. I have my one standout, and that's it. So there you go. Once you have your basic design, the steps you have left would be number 1, to outline all your designs in the black pen or in any black thin marker that you have. Then go ahead and color it, make it look nice and neat. Now remember the coloring guidelines. You don't want it all the same color. You definitely want at least your emphasis to stand out, but for the rest, create some sort of pattern. So make sure you look at the examples that are given to you.